Hey everyone, my name is Zoran Saher, and I'm joined by the wonderful Ameesha Patel on Urban Asian. Thank you so much for joining me for Gadar 2, which is currently streaming on Z5 Global. Thank you so much, Ameesha.
Most welcome and always a pleasure to see you. How are you?
Very well, very well. First and foremost, congratulations on the massive grand success of Gadar 2. Obviously, the country's talking about it, the nation's discussing it. Uh, Tell me, how does it feel? I mean, giving a film like a 500 crore with someone like a Sunny Deol, your first thoughts on that?
Well, first of all, to break history and records the first time round with Gadar 1 becoming the biggest hit in the history of Indian cinema then 22 years ago, and Tara and Sakina being embedded in the hearts and souls of the people world over was overwhelming in itself. And then when you have a sequel that comes not 2 years, not 4 years, not 6 years later, but 22 years later, and creates history, it's the fastest 500 and currently more than 535 crores in India alone, to create history yet again, to become India's biggest hit yet again, uh, feels very overwhelming. And, it's just a testimony to the fact that even though a film came 22 years later, Tara and Sakina were loved so much that everyone thronged to the cinemas, made it like a festival, like occasion to go and watch the film. And it's very heartwarming, it's very overwhelming, it's very humbling. I have the audiences and, of course, God to thank for all that love, then it feels superb. And Sunny Deol is my favorite co-star, and to see, the most iconic characters being relived and reloved all over again is something that nobody in the history of Indian cinema has done. I was not alive when Mughal Azam and Pakiza and Mother India and films like this released,
Right.
and I still watch them, love them. But none of their actors got a part two, and none of the audiences had the privilege of seeing their favorite films as a part two. And we did in our generation. So, of course, it feels very, very beautiful.
Amisha, you mentioned it's been 22 years since the first part came out, and obviously it's been a massive, huge gap for any sequel of any film to come out. Did you find a difference in the vibe on set after so many years being with someone like Sunny Deol? What was it like, really?
He's more loving, more caring, more of a gentleman. Our on-screen and off-screen chemistry is just the same. In fact, it's gotten better. We've matured and know each other's likes and dislikes even more. We have a perfect chemistry. We know exactly what one is feeling at any given moment. He's a human being par excellence and a class apart. And it was amazing being with him. It just felt like we've come from Gadar set onto Gadar set to, uh, in no the difference of time at all. Time was frozen.
Very
It
true.
just felt like going.
And I have to also mention, because the association with someone like Anil Sharma has been for quite some time. What was it like, kind of re-collaborating with him? I mean, was there any sort of a specific brief, other part two, as looking from Gadar one, or what was it like?
Workshops we had done for Gadar 1, we didn't do, we did zero for Gadar 2. I think the director was confident that Sunny had lived Tara Singh for 22 years and I had lived with Sakina for 22 years. And these are
Yeah.
that had left us, And so we had no briefing, we had no workshops. We just went on set and we did what we wanted. And I think Sunny and I put on the costumes of Tara and Sakina, and we're just Tara and Sakina. It's something that just comes as second nature to us. And we were just ourselves. There was no briefing for it. So it was beautiful.
That's wonderful. Amisha, apart from the fact that you're a bundle of talent, you're also, I think, in a sense, a good luck charm for many films doing well, because your debut film, Kahona Pyare, it was perhaps, and I say perhaps because one of the biggest debut for anyone. Of course, you and Ritik starred in your first films together, and it was the rest is history. You became superstars overnight. And I think the same goes with Gadar Part 2. Do you select scripts strategically? How do you, is it by gut? Is it instinct? What is it like, really?
No, it's gut instinct. I think, in fact, the ones that I strategically tried to select have
Sure.
never worked. And the
Yeah.
ones that I warned not to do and I have done on gut instinct have gone and done superbly well. Be it
Yeah.
Hamra, be it Kahona Pyar Hai, be it my Telugu Tamil films like Badri and with Pavan
Yes.
Kalyan became the biggest Telugu hit of that year before even Gadar released. Be it Gadar, which I was told not to do then Gadar 2, which I was told not to do now. So any film that has tick marks the boxes on paper that seems right, that you should, it's more like a project, and somehow it doesn't do as well at the box office. But the ones
Yeah.
that have gone, my gut has told me that this is something that I should do, has created magic. So I
Correct.
think I'm my gut for the longest time rather than being a corporate kind of actor and trying to put two and two together. That doesn't work. I think I work from my heart, and that has worked for me for the best.
That's wonderful. That's why we love watching you so much. And I have to ask you, commercial cinema, in a sense, has obviously taken a sense of turn in the last decade or so, with OTT digital platforms coming into play, and now that we actually are in the wave of successful films like a Pathan, like Gadar 2, like Jawan, and it's bringing back people back to cinemas, essentially enjoying the luxury of watching good films commercially in cinemas. What is your take on that as an artist? Because essentially, the Indian industry went through, yeah,
I don't know what it is because before Gadar came, everyone
yeah,
was like, no, we're going to go to the cinemas.
yeah,
Suddenly came and everyone's like, oh, Gadar brought Bollywood out of ICU, infused
yeah,
oxygen,
yeah,
industry got alive. People were back to 20 years before kind of behavior where they're dancing, screaming, whistling, tearing off seats in theaters, doing all that, mouthing dialogues, going like it's a festival with bunches of 20s and 30s and family members and going
yeah.
multiple times films, buying houseful boards, black ticket, black like other two, black. That was you know.
Correct,
But then
correct.
there's a lull. So I really don't know. I think with so much entertainment on OTT, you have to really make a good film.
Yeah,
Is what it's not. When I mean good, I don't mean wise.
of course.
You um, we have to make a really good film for people to go back to cinemas now,
Sure.
and it's the hearts that they want to see. Otherwise, people are happy to be at home and watch OTT. That's all I can say. Like I don't understand the mathematics. Like I said, I go by my gut. So
Yeah,
this mathematics I haven't understood. Otherwise, I would know that for sure this film will make these people go back to cinemas, and this film won't.
correct.
But we saw Gadar, we saw a Jawan, we've seen a Pathan, we've seen a decent rise with Oh My God and Dream
Yeah,
Girl and all. Suddenly you're
yeah,
seeing a dip. So I don't understand these cycles actually
right.
because I don't know what it is about people and what it is about the trailer that makes them want to go or not go to see that film. I really don't know. You know.
Correct. You obviously have given a massive success. Amisha, what's next on the cards, essentially?
We're here to talk about Gadar. Let's just end it with Gadar, and you'll hear of the announcement soon. So we'll have an interview on that some other time.
Awesome. I wish you all the very best, and thanks so much for talking to me, Amisha. Thank you.
Love you.
Thank you.